Overthinking. Overthinking is an attempt to gain security within our own minds. We overthink in an attempt to prevent any outcome that we don't want from happening, right? So it's one part a control issue and another part a security issue. But we all know this is an obvious form of procrastination and self-sabotage for many people. So when we're overthinking, we try to prevent problems and pitfalls, but we all know problems and pitfalls are a part of our growth, right? Everybody knows this, but still naturally we have an aversion to these things. We don't want our business or our personal life to be full of problems and pitfalls, but we know they're still unavoidable and they're necessary for our growth and for our success. So if you think about your personal life for a minute, I guarantee you'd agree that the problems in your life probably taught you way more than the paths of ease, comfort, and convenience, right? What about that fast decision you had to make and it didn't work out, but you're glad you found out now rather than later, right? You're glad you found out earlier rather than later, right? Acting quickly is imperative for us to grow and to learn to trust our intuition. You know, I think impulsivity gets a bad rap because sometimes it's crucial that we act fast and trust our instincts. Risks are necessary to take, and our overthinking and going into the future to try to prevent anything we don't want from happening, it not only places the fate of the decisions that have to be made right now in the hands of a future that doesn't even exist, but it also doesn't rely on intuition, right? And we got to learn to trust our gut. I mean, how many times have you not listened to your gut and regretted it? So on top of that, it depletes a lot of our energy. It takes a lot of psychological energy to overthink, right? So here's my point, that rumination is not the same thing as problem solving. See, problem solving and planning they're coping strategies, they're coping skills, and ruminating and overthinking and overanalyzing it actually creates self-induced anxiety. I mean, picture it like this. Imagine if you have a beach ball and you're trying to submerge that beach ball underneath the water, right? This is similar to trying to fight our thoughts, right? Or to try to think our way into safety. Instead, we can just take the attention and focus away from these thoughts and accept that the chatter and the desire to overthink is currently present and totally normal. So try to observe the overthinking rather than trying to stop it. This is an acceptance and commitment therapy technique that's helped me a lot in my personal life, right? So it's also helpful to imagine what you would tell a friend about the situation that you're overthinking, right? Challenge some of your own perfectionistic standards, again, by trying to be more objective, right? We shouldn't think our way into security. We should behave our way into self-assurance, right? So it helps to determine, again, look at and affirm what you can control, right? I can only control 3 things in my life: how I think, how I feel, and how I act. Trying to control anything other than those 3 things is a form of insanity, number 1. And also, we can only influence anything outside of those 3 things at best, right? So again, focus on your motives, right? What did your heart tell you about the situation, right? What is your heart truly telling you to do? And last but not least, pray about it, right? If God puts it in your heart, if God puts it on your heart, it can't be wrong. If God put it in your heart, it can't be wrong.